Welcome guys to my Photoshop tutorial on my new F1 movie poster design that I made in Photoshop ahead of the very highly anticipated F1 movie that is released on the 27th of June. I thought I'd create a little movie poster for this, my own little concept, my own ideas, and yeah, I thought it would be quite a fun task to do and show you guys how I made it and the end product of the design, which I was really happy with, let's just say that. But without further ado, let's get started with this video. So I've just cut out my F1 car. This isn't the actual car from the movie, as many of you may notice, so apologies for that, but I tried to keep it close to kind of the same kind of model, which is the Mercedes. So yeah, forgive me for that, all of you F1 fans out there, but I wanted to have this kind of angle of the car, this bird's eye view looking down, as I wanted this to kind of be the direction of this post and be a significant part of this design aspect. So I've just gone into Camera Raw filter and I'm just playing around with some of the highlights and shadows and bringing out that clarity of the car, just making it look a lot more crisp. As you've seen in my other videos, I do this all the time. So now I've just got this nice kind of scratch texture that I'm just dropped down on the background, and I've reduced the opacity to about 40%. So next I've just created a new layer. I've gone to edit, fill, and then I've gone to Camera Raw filter and put up the grain to 100% on this grey background, and then I'm going to drag that down to my background and I'm going to turn that to hard light blend. And that, once you reduce that to about 30 or 20% in opacity, it gives a nice kind of grain effect over the background. Again, which I do with a lot of my posters. As you will notice that a lot of posters have that grain, gives it that professionalism, and yeah, I just wanted to do it on this one. So next I've got these kind of tyre tracks, skid marks as you'd say. That sounds a bit weird, sorry, skid marks. Tyre tracks that I want to incorporate into my design. So yeah, I'm just kind of playing around with the positioning of this. I want this to go obviously behind the back wheels of the F1 car. And here I'll just, as I said, I'll use the perspective tool just to really make it look more realistic and in the direction that the car is moving. As if you obviously didn't do this, it would look very kind of skewed and just not have that realism that the car is driving. So now I've just used shift and I've got both of the car tyres and I've merged it into a smart object, and now I've just masked it. I use a nice soft brush of Fill Black, and I'm just painting over with a nice 10% flow just to kind of fade it out. And again, this is with the mask tool, using a black brush on the white background, obviously fades it out, and then if you're going to use the white brush, you'd bring it back. That's how it works, it's the opposites. So now I just did a solid colour fill of black, and I've put that at the bottom, just on the background. I've inverted it using Command I, and now I'm just using a soft black brush again. Sorry, not a black brush, a white brush, as obviously I've inverted it so the background is black. And now I'm just going to paint in the shadows of the car. And this bit really brings out the realism, and just takes the poster to that next level, even though it's not a poster yet really, it's only one aspect, but adding the shadows really just makes them stand out, and I'm just going to speed this bit up, but as you'll see, it really gives it a bit more of that realism and feel. And that is my battery going down quite low, so I have to top that up in a minute, apologies for that. But yes, so now the shadows are in, and as you can see, it looks 10,000 times better now. It actually looks like it should be, and it looks like it's driving, which is obviously what we want. So now I've just duplicated the car, and I'm going to drag that on top. That one I've duplicated, and I'm going to go to a motion blur on this layer. So this is done to make it look like the car is moving fast, as it's an F1 car. We want it to have that energy, and make it look like it's in a race. So I've just masked the motion blur, and I'm using a white brush, about 20% flow, just to brush in the motion blur onto the car to really give it that moving and energetic effect. Right, so now the car is pretty much finished. We're now going to move on to the people, the subjects that we're going to be using on this poster. So for this poster we've got 4 main characters. That's what I've taken from the trailer, as I've not seen the movie yet, as it's not out. But we've got 4 characters that I'm just going to cut out here, which I use the selecting subject, which is a quick way of just getting that quick selection of the subject, and then you use the lasso tool, which I'm using now, just to add in the areas that I missed out and didn't select. So to add in, you hold shift and then just draw. Here, look, you just get that nice plus sign, hold shift and draw in over what you need to add. Or if you want to take away, you use the option and do the exact same thing. Right, so now all my subjects are cut out. I actually already started fading them into the background, just using the mask again with a soft brush. However, I wanted to go down the route of having this kind of dramatic smoke effect. The smoke effect of like an F1 car when it's driving, and just make it a little bit more cinematic, I thought. So I've just again used the mask. As you can see, there's a lot of masking in this design tutorial, just to really kind of merge the people and the subjects into the background. And here I'm just using this smoke paintbrush just to bring this smoke effect to the people. So now I'm just making another solid colour, and I started with this nice kind of luminous blue colour, and I inverted that, and again using the mask I wanted to paint in this blue kind of smoke that's just surrounding the subjects, just to give a bit more depth to the poster. But then, after some consideration, I kind of decided to go with more grey for the smoke, as that is normally what the colour smoke is, and I just thought the blue was a little bit too conflicting to the poster at this point. So I wanted this kind of grey smoke, and it just merged in with the background quite well, as it's a white kind of dominant background. So now I've just got this stadium. I think it's of Silverstone. I'm not sure. I might be wrong there. And I'm just cut out the stadium using the mask again and the pen tool, sorry. And I'm just going to drag that behind the people. Actually, I don't think it's Silverstone. Actually, I was looking at Silverstone, obviously, because I think it is set in Britain. Right. So next, I'm just getting the soft smoke brush again at about 50% opacity. I'm just going to fade out the background of the stadium and just merge it into the smoke that's already there, obviously, with my subjects, and it just gives this continuous effect of the smoke into the background and gives that depth that I'm looking for. Next, I've gone with the gradient map, and I'm just going to clip that to the stadium stands, and this is just a nice little kind of effect that I like to use. The gradient maps just gives that opportunity to use colour into this piece. As it's predominantly white, I've gone with this light blue, and then on the other side of the gradient a nice dark blue to really just give it that standout look to the design. And I'm just going to put the blend of the gradient map to darker colour. So next I've just made a solid colour, again using that luminous kind of blue, and I'm going to invert that by clicking Command I, but first I'm going to make it a line of dodge blend if, but Command I to invert that, and then I'm going to use a white soft brush. I'm going to paint in a nice glow behind the subjects. Right, so now it's going to go on to the retouching. So I'm going to first pick Brad Pitt, and I'm going to go in camera raw filter, and yes, just bring out the whites, bring out the shadows, contrast, and yeah, just again, take your time with this. There's not real set thing that I stay by with this camera raw filter. It's kind of just what looks good, and yeah, just what's appealing. Again, design is so subjective, and it's what you think looks good, what you like. So yeah, just kind of stick by that rule. But anyways, I've done that to all my subjects now. As you can see, the difference is huge. Really kind of makes them pop and stand out a lot more. So now I'm just I've converted them into a smart object and brought them all together. I'm using a new layer of a 50% grey, which is just go to edit and fill, and then I'm going to put that to overlay, and then I'm going to use a burn tool, excuse me, and I'm just going to paint in the shadows. And this, again, I do this on all my subjects and most of my posts. So next we go to the opposite tool, which is the dodge tool. And can you guess what this does? Well, it brings out the highlights, the opposite. So just go over the kind of the lighter areas and really bring them and make them stand out. But I must say, I cannot wait for this film. I think it's going to be really, really cinematic, really good. It's obviously the director of Top Gun is taking the lead in this, and I love Top Gun, both of them. I think they're unbelievable, especially the newest one with all that kind of the effects. And I can't see this movie being a flop. I think it's going to be really good, and I can't wait to watch it. So let me know your thoughts when you watch it in the comments. Obviously it's coming out today, actually, when I think about it. This video will be released on the day it comes out, so that's good. I've just realised that. But yes, anyways, back to the video. I'm waffling. So I've just got this really cool kind of stadium floodlight, and I've just dragged that in, used a colour balance just to kind of match it to the blue kind of shade, and then I'm using this exposure layer, clipped it to it, and I'm just going to mask it and paint in some shadows. And next, the fun part, I'm going to add some lens flares to the floodlights, obviously because I want them to be on, otherwise it'd be a bit pointless having it there. And then I've just masked the white background, and I've just painted in these floodlights, and then just a little bit more kind of mist and yeah, light coming from the floodlight. So next, I'm just adding a color lookup just to bring out some saturation to my subjects, and as you can see then it was a little bit too saturated, so I decided to bring it down to about, I think, 50% in the end, which I thought gave it this nice, yeah, saturated, warm look to the poster. Moving on to some highlights now, one of my favourite parts. I'm just getting a solid fill layer, and I'm using the nice blue that I've used previously, and I've clipped that and I've put that to a nice line in dodge and inverted it, and then I'm choosing a soft brush again just to paint in these highlights from the nice blue glow behind them. And this just, yeah, again brings that realism to the poster and just makes it kind of stand out a little bit more, a lot more. I like having these highlights, it makes it look crisp, and that glow effect is just, I think it's just appealing in a poster. Bright colours really bring out and kind of are quite eye-catching, I think. So I've got this nice lens flare, and I'm just gonna turn the blend to, I think screen is what I used, yeah. And I wanted to, again, kind of make it look like the car is moving at a considerable speed, and using these lens flares, I wanted to bring that colour and match it with the kind of the blue that's been used higher up in the poster. So I used a hue saturation and clipped it to these lens flare, and then I just duplicated them by Command J, and I spread them out around the car. And yeah, kind of it made it look like it's in this kind of this light that it's shooting through with these lens flares that are just glimmering off the car and giving that a real kind of that speed kind of feeling. So yeah, I was happy with how it's going at the moment. And then I've got this nice cracked background texture, and again, this, I didn't really have to do this, but I kind of wanted to. It was just a little addition to the design, just to make it look like the car's going at such a speed that it's left cracks in the floor. Right, so now into the final stages of the poster, moving to the typography. So we've got from the producer of the Top Gun Maverick at the bottom, and then I've got the main F1, the movie logo as well, just above that. However, I didn't really like that it was taking up quite a bit of the car, and I just thought it was a bit of a waste of space. It was taking up, and it just didn't look great. So I decided to drag that below the car and give it that effect that the car's driving over it and it's merged into the background. And in the end, I thought it actually looked really good. Kind of the lens flares as well, bouncing off it, really kind of submerged it into the background, and yeah, kind of gave the poster again that depth that I wanted to try and get with it. Just playing around with the perspective there, and then merging it a little bit more into the background, and finally adding the date, only in theatres June the 27th. And there we have it, guys. Here is the final design of my F1 the movie poster. I hope you enjoyed the video. I was really happy how the end design came out. I've really enjoyed the process. It's nice kind of experimenting with this kind of F1 theme. I've not done F1 before, so I've really enjoyed it. So let me know down below your thoughts on the movie, of course, and the design. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. There's plenty more videos coming this way, so stay tuned. That is Game Changer Design.